Welcome back to the Marine Corps League's National Convention as we celebrate our 100-year anniversary. I'm James Roy.
And I'm Ray Morrell. We're at the Marine Corps League National Public Relations Committee. We're here to bring you the wrap-up of Day 4 of the National Convention.
Before we get started, don't forget to smash that like button, share our video, and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Facebook and Instagram.
Our focus is to get this message out to all the members of the Marine Corps League, so we're asking your help to share that information so your fellow members are aware of what's going on at our national conventions.
Our day began today with Teresa Terry, the Marine Corps League National Credentials Committee chairperson, presented the updated delegate count and voting strength for each department as it pertains to the business meeting and voting election during the National Convention.
Which takes place tomorrow.
Correct.
David Ocean, who's our Marine for Life liaison with the Marine Corps, along with Rick Butler, who's the section head for the United States Marine Corps Marine for Life program, gave a very detailed description of what the Marine for Life program is. And again, quoting what Mr. Butler said, sooner or later, every Marine will have to accept and recognize the fact that their tour in the Marine Corps is over. And one purpose of the Marine for Life program is to help ensure that they don't lose that camaraderie with their fellow Marines. That also comes into play with what we do as a Marine Corps League. We're all in the business of ensuring that we're taken care of. Learn more about the Marine for Life program at www.marineforlife.org.
The Youth Physical Fitness program was up next, and it was presented by PCDD Tom Haslett, the executive director for the program. Tom said that at the detachment level, you are the spokesperson for the program, for the youth physical fitness, and it's not just for high schools, it's for every level of school. As the Marine Corps League, your part is to offer assistance to the program. The school will administer the program.
Right, and that was an important piece that he wanted to ensure that people remember, is that you're not really working the program, you're just helping them promote it. So they might need help with judging. You coordinate that talent, but it's the school that would actually administer the program. And again, with that, Tom also amplified a need, asking every detachment, every department across Marine Corps League to contribute at least $50. Every year, the Youth Physical Fitness program hosts a Tree of Lights program, and that's a fundraising opportunity to support the Youth Physical Fitness program itself. So again, look for communication for that as we get closer, but again, asking every detachment, every department to contribute a minimum of $50 each that would go to the Youth Physical Fitness program.
Recognition was given for Americanism Awards. Americanism Awards are given for the annual compilation of detachments and departments' scrapbooks that document their program of work, events, and activities, all those type of things for the detachment or departments. The information is based on each administrative year, and awards are given for platoon sizes such as 15 to 50, company sizes from 15 to 100, and battalion sizes of 100 or more. The Gil Gray Award was also announced. The award is presented to the most outstanding Americanism submission, regardless of detachment or department size. And the award is named after Gil Gray, one of our former Marine Corps League National Commandants from 1972 to 1974.
And actually, the Americanism Award is a good way to document. Again, it's a scrapbook. It's a good way to document all the accomplishments, all the activities that you've done for the year, and boast it.
Right.
Submit it for the Americanism Award.
Exactly, and it's the perfect thing when you're out there trying to talk about your detachment or your department, and somebody asks, "What do you do?"
Howard Schaefer with the Marine Corps League Foundation also came forward and gave an update report of their income and disbursements of funds. Now, the Marine Corps League Foundation is a direct supporter to the Marine Corps League member through their humanitarian aid, their disaster relief, their scholarship awards, and various youth program financial gifts that they give out. Marine Corps League Foundation received an annual income of $81,587, but doled out expenses of $174,165. So as you can see, they're operating in a deficit and basically pulling from their trust funds. With that, almost 120,000 of their expenses were for financial awards that were gifted across various causes. Commandant Baker emphasized the need for every detachment, every department to contribute at least $100 annually to the Marine Corps League Foundation, and he challenged every detachment to do so. But again, the Marine Corps League Foundation, there's several detachments that might have their own foundation for their own scholarship purposes, which we definitely support that. But the Marine Corps League Foundation is for all across the Marine Corps League, and it supports whether it's the scholarships or whether it's through disaster aid or whatever the case may be. And several accounts were also presented supporting their cause just during today's events.
One thing that people might remember is there was a special anniversary coin for the Marine Corps League 100th anniversary that was actually a coin, and it was struck, and there was only 100 of them actually issued out, coins 1 through 100. Well, they sold coins 2 through 99, and then they raffled off coin number 1.
Coin number 1.
They auctioned off coin number 100 for the 100-year anniversary. It went for right at $4,000 when they auctioned it off to the delegates.
The final bid for coin number 100 was at $4,000, and again, that tremendous account because those coins that's it. So the Marine Corps League Convention Committee then explained the process for National Convention bids. Jim Ransom, the Convention Committee chairperson, gave good detailed information on that. So what folks may not be aware of is that the national conventions are scheduled on 4 quadrants within the Marine Corps League. And the quadrants are, this division, that division make this quadrant. Local detachments or departments interested in submitting a bid for a national convention, they first must submit a resolution stating their interest, and that's got to be submitted to the National Convention Committee chairperson no less than 2 years before the scheduled convention. Once that's received, Jim Ransom, who's the Convention Committee chairperson, will work with a third-party entity called Helms Briscoe, who helps facilitate and coordinate the RFPs and the facility services for each of those conventions. So they will submit out an RFP, and then decisions will be followed up beyond that. Once qualified bids are received, they're brought to the National Convention, at which time presentations are made and the membership decides where they want to go to for that convention. So the other thing that Jim also stated, and this is actually quite important, so again, please listen to this piece. The National Convention Committee emphasized that a policy change will go into effect immediately. No one member can book more than 2 hotel rooms per reservation for any national convention. The person's name assigned to that second room must be reported to the hotel no less than 30 days before the convention. So the reason for this is, let's say a detachment might designate one person to book to reserve hotel rooms, okay? Well, that person may reserve 10 hotel rooms, but then 30 days before, they end up canceling 8 of those 10 rooms. Well, look at all those people that try to get room blocks or try to get into the room block but couldn't because of this mass exodus of rooms that were booked for hastiness.
Right.
So that is the main reason why the convention committee came down with this policy. So from this point forward, which James will jump into this shortly, but the next national convention hotel rooms will be opening up very, very shortly. So again, only 2 rooms per reservation, per person per reservation. And that second room needs to be verified no less than 30 days before the convention.
Well, getting right into that, the 2024 National Convention will be at the Westin Rancho Mirage Hotel or Golf and Spa Resort in Palm Springs, California.
Nice looking place.
You can call in your room reservations no sooner than the 21st of August 2023, which is on Monday. Room rates are $159 a night, and this all-inclusive, which includes breakfast, and for $10 more if you have an additional guest. If you contact the hotel and they tell you the room is full, though, understand that that's the block of rooms that we agreed to, and so that doesn't necessarily mean that that all the rooms are full. So Jim emphasized about contacting him to work that issue out before you start kind of freaking out that there's no rooms left.
Right, and again, what James just said is remember that when you call that hotel room and inquire about the block of rooms for the Marine Corps League National Convention, the hotel might tell you they are full, they are booked. They are actually referring to the block of rooms, because you got a hotel with, let's say they got 900 rooms, but only reserve 600 of those rooms for the Marine Corps League. That means they got other rooms, but it's just that room block is full. So contact Jim Ransom.
One thing about this hotel also that they talked about was that when people look at it online, it's a little spread out of sorts, but the hotel staff that was here assured us that they were going to have golf carts to help move people around and get people to and from the meeting spaces and in the desired areas that people are going to want to be in. So that's going to be a big help to our membership.
And adding to that, kind of like the same focus of the Marine Corps League, or the Marines, where every Marine is a rifleman. In this explanation, they clearly stated it doesn't matter if it's the general manager, the sales manager, or the housekeeper. When it comes to customer service, they are dedicated to customer service.
That's right. Next up was the site for the 2025 Marine Corps League National Convention, and that will be at the Hyatt Regency DFW in Grapevine, Texas, which will be also $159 a night. However, this has complimentary breakfast and parking and shuttles to and from the airport, which is actually very, very, very close.
And they got a tram system.
Yes. They told us if you land at DFW, you're actually in Grapevine, Texas. So that's how close it is. They couldn't have been more excited to have us, and they gave a wonderful presentation that included a video, and more information will be presented as it becomes available to us.
Yeah, it was very impressive, and again, look up Grapevine, Texas, and get yourself acclimated. But a nice facility and nice community. National Commandant Johnny Baker talked about his recent trip to Belleau Wood and the beaches of Normandy. Through the military historic tours, which is where he took part of that activity, he was contacted by them again and asked if he'd be interested in hosting a trip to Vietnam. So that being said, come April 13th through April 26th of 2024, National Commandant Johnny Baker is hosting a trip to Saigon and various stops across Vietnam. Information is posted on our Facebook page, so feel free to go to our Facebook page. It was actually posted today about this tour. The link for the tour information is www.miltours.com, or just search Military Historic Tours. Again, the event is April 13th through April 26th of 2024. The cost is $3,395 per person based on double occupancy, but that does not include the airfare. So you have to ensure that you got your flight to get you to Saigon, and then they take care of everything from that point forward, to include your visas. So again, log on to the website, learn a little bit more right there, inquire about them directly, and look forward to share some time in Vietnam with Commandant Johnny Baker.
Next up was Greg Soselsky, our national historian, and he stated publication is still being assembled to commemorate our 100 years for the Marine Corps League. He also reminded all detachments and departments to be mindful of the importance of having an actual historian and documenting everything that your detachments and departments do, especially the officers, because it would be a shame that if 25 to 50 years from now, if your detachment can't even remember who their their officers were, or any of that kind of important stuff that will come up later on.
Very unfortunate, but it happens. Greg also gave a couple of really interesting tidbits. It was, first off, he referenced about well, I did not know this, but there's a couple of large fires that took place in Marine Corps League National Headquarters years ago. That caused a loss of a tremendous amount of records and information. So he's on his own accord, he's really compiling a lot of really good historical stuff because it all got destroyed. But he also gave a little tidbit regarding Belleau Woods. What was not known by any of us was the Marine Corps League actually owned a portion of the Belleau Woods Cemetery. At whatever year, there was a mother of a fallen Marine that owned a portion of that land, and the Marine Corps League purchased it for $6,000. They owned it for approximately 5 years when the American Battlefields Commission came into play, and Marine Corps League gifted this land to the American Battlefields Commission as part of the overall Belleau Woods Cemetery. Very cool information.
As an additional note, the historical part of this is really what got me to being more involved in the league. Greg is a wealth of knowledge and has been very helpful in helping me compile some of the things that I've learned about my department and my detachment, and it helped get me interested in going further in the league and getting some of the traditions, and that's part of what being a Marine is, and learning about the things that came before you so that you can build upon it. And so keep those records and get those things for your departments and your detachments, and make sure that you're keeping that flag up.
Because I believe the Department of Louisiana, or Louisiana as a whole, has a little history with the Marine Corps League National Office, isn't that right?
It does. That's actually one of the things that started my little quest. It was people in my detachment kept telling me that Baton Rouge was once the home of the national headquarters, and I couldn't find any records about it, but I started looking it up in old newspaper articles and stuff and started to see more information about it. One thing we could not locate was when it left Baton Rouge. Mm-hmm. Greg was actually able to confirm for me that it did leave Baton Rouge in 1965, I believe it was. So it was there from like 1940 to 1965. So it was there for 25 years, which is a lot longer than I had actually thought it had been there. But that was just an interesting little spot about, where I'm from and how the league itself involved the place that I'm from. So it kind of captivated me a little bit and helped push this thing a little further in my eyes.
So again, your local detachments, your department, get a historian and start documenting this history.
In the last order of business of the day, past National Commandant Paul Hastings was brought forward and called for nominations for Marine Corps League national offices. Nominations were made for National Commandant, which was Warren Griffin, National Senior Vice Commandant T.J. Morgan, National Junior Vice Commandant Russ Miller, and the National Judge Advocate had 4 nominees: Robert Ziltz of Pennsylvania, Bruce Rackfelt of North Carolina, Scott Westerfelt of Florida, and David Porter of Massachusetts. Voting will take place tomorrow as the last order of business.
And touching back with a little bit of history for the Marine Corps League, past National Commandant Paul Hastings is 55-year veteran of the Marine Corps League. So we'll talk about institutional knowledge. So first off, I want to apologize for any background noise. That's actually the color guard that was practicing for our banquet tomorrow night. So again, stay tuned for more information tomorrow. But again, that about wraps it up for today. This is your daily wrap-up from the Marine Corps League Public Relations Committee. So make sure you tune in tomorrow for a final bit of wrap-up. And from there,
if you haven't done so yet, make sure you smash that like button, share our video, and subscribe to our channel.
This concludes our daily wrap-up. We'll see you again tomorrow.